What is up, everybody? Margin Grimlock. We are back with Date A Live Spirit Crisis, but today I am finally going to be making my tier list for the JP version of Date A Live Spirit Pledge, or as I said, Date A Live Spirit Crisis. Now, it took me a minute to do this because I wanted to spend a while, meaning some months, playing the game and seeing what all was different from Global, so I can see what all changes I'll make when I were to make my eventual tier list. And yeah, it's not much different. So, well, only thing different is we have way less characters. But I'm going to rank them same way I did on Global at the end, just based on their usability, how strong they are, and maybe, I don't know if I'm going to use how easy they are to get as an excuse anymore. But we'll see. So if you guys want to see more of this, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get to it. Okay, so first we're going to start off with the 4 stars. I'm just going to put these right here. The support spirits, I would still rank higher. Well, I never really used this Yoshino. I know she can like lower the enemy's defense. She got freezing and stuff, but yeah, and yeah, all the 4-star DPSs can pretty much. Actually, no, that's not true. Kaguya. I will put Kaguya higher just because when I did play her on Global, she was pretty strong for a 4-star at least. And Yuzuru will also go up here. In fact, I put her higher. Bring Yoshino back. My biggest problem with Yuzuru was just her main skill that did support is her skill 2. It just takes too long for the cooldown. So her main ability that you need takes forever to do, and her awakening as well. So that kind of hurts the usability. And Kaguya, you just need to work on her attack speed. You get that up, she's going to be just as strong as any 5-star. I don't know if I think I did a video on her on Global a long time ago. So again, pretty much the same for most of these characters. Miku, I'll put her higher than Kaguya just because her support abilities are better in general. Being able to charm the enemies, that saves me a lot on Global when I used her. I don't really use any of the 4 stars on JP, but again, it works the same. My problem with Miku is the same problem I had with Sang, who I'll get to later. Is her, you have to finish the move to get all the boost that you need from it. Like her skill 3 takes a long time to finish coming out. If you get hit in the process, then you just lose everything. So it's kind of a waste. And I've gotten killed that way. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the 4 stars. I'm not going to spend too much time on them. Now, the more common 5 stars, we have Kurumi. I think I'm going to put her at B. Maybe a high B. Only because her being dark, she has type advantage against the hardest boss in the game, which is Bayle. Other than that, dark and light characters to me got hit the worst when it did the update to this game, because they're only usable against each other, but then they'll also take more damage from each other. So you take Kurumi against Bayle, she'll do more damage in general than, say, Kotori, even though my Kotori still out damages her, and her attack stat is lower than Kurumi. But I don't know, I just don't really like the way they did the dark and light spirits in the game. And speaking of which, Kotori, A. Now, Kotori being at A, it depends. If you have the commander set, which is now the paid set on here, they flipped it, then she has, I don't know if I'll say infinite healing, but it feels like infinite healing. I don't know if I've ever actually died with Kotori at this point, because she has so much health, and she gains more attack power based on her health. And again, I'm basing most of these at how they will be at C6. That's what I'm trying to base them on now. But keep in mind, Kurumi, Kotori, it'll be way easier to get to C6 than, say, Tenka or Queen, because they're limited. But Kotori and Kurumi are not. But yeah, Kotori would, if you have only 4 copies, before you get to the 5th copy, which is the healing path for everybody in their crystal, in the crystal system. Kotori, she can still heal if you have the commander set anyway. So, yeah, her survivability and being a DPS is just way more useful. I still won't forgive them for taking away the revival ability, which is literally Kotori would die and come back. So she doesn't do that anymore, but she can just heal constantly. And it's better. The commander set is way stronger than it was on Global. I may do a video on that later. But yeah, the commander set is way better. The Scorch set, however, got nerfed. Meaning she's no longer going to constantly regenerate rage when you're in the cannon form. She'll lose rage slower, and you still start off with max energy, but it's just not the same. But she's still pretty strong with the Scorch set though. But if you have the commander set, she is pretty much broken. Ellen, let me change this to undecided again, cause I still do not run Ellen, even though she constantly shows up in my summons, won't leave me alone. I'll put her at B. Be generous. It'll probably be a low B at best. But actually no, because there's way stronger lightning DPS than Ellen. It's literally every other one. So I'll keep her here at B. The next common spirit, go to Angel Origami. Angel Origami, I'll put it about B. I put her above Ellen just because she is the best healer in the game. I still don't understand why they made that decision to make Origami the strongest healer instead of Kotori. Well, Kotori heals herself the best, but Origami can heal herself and everyone else. And that saved me during the training mode last month. If you guys saw that stream, when I was doing the training before the anniversary, Origami literally saved my life just by healing. I otherwise would not have beaten that round. So yeah, she's pretty strong for me. Attack wise, I'm working on trying to get her attack up. She just never really hit that hard for me, even on Global. And I always felt like Nia was stronger than her in that regard. But I'll keep her right here, right next to Kurumi. Okay, and Natsumi is also common. She is I think I'll keep her right by Kotori. The Kotori commander set, even though they nerfed the Scorch set which hurt me at first, the commander set kind of makes Kotori way better now, even without transforming. And she can still do a lot of damage in her cannon form too. Don't get me wrong, but you don't even have to do that now. So, but Natsumi, she's still pretty much the same. She can support and DPS at the same time. Can't really beat that. So, I kind of want to put her first again. I think I did that before, above Kotori. But, and I'm not being biased, by the way. You know, these are my two favorite characters. But Kotori, she does, to me, outdamage Natsumi while being able to heal better as well. So, I don't know. I think I'll keep it like this just because she's support for the team. Like, you really can't beat that. Okay, next to the more limited spirits. Tanka. Even though Tanka is hurting my feelings right now. Trying to get copies of her. Not going too well. I am thinking, mostly just because Rene isn't on JP yet, I put Tanka at A, but lower than Kotori and Natsumi. Number one, because once again, Kotori and Natsumi are easier to get, so it'll be more practical for you to be relying on them. Whereas Tanka, I think this is her third rerun, or third time coming out on Global. But even then, they're still pretty rare. Also, by the way, Natsumi Sephiroth was never in the regular summon. They lied about that. But anyway, as for Tanka, she is magic on JP. On Global, she was dark. And I just told you earlier how I feel about dark and light spirits in the game. So her being changed to magic boosts her, in my opinion, a lot. Because magic is strong against most of the game. or if it's not, it's going to be neutral to anything except magic. And honestly, the magic enemies in this game aren't very strong anyway, so not really a detriment. But her being magic is way better than being dark, so she won't have to worry about getting overshadowed by Kurumi or Inverse Origami if Crimson Kurumi ever came back. And even again, regular Kurumi, like I said, she's not as strong as she probably was on the old version of Global. At least not to me. I didn't play her back then either. I played her more now. But it would be more useful playing her than Tenka if Tenka was still dark. So thankfully she's not. She can kind of stand out on her own, with her only competition being Natsumi. And Tenka's attack can be pretty high. I think I have her about 3,500 attack right now, with only 3 copies. The crystal doesn't affect your attack stat, but still. Yeah, I think I'll put her right there. I'm just glad they stopped making her dark, because that was useless. And then next we have Mayuri. I went on a few rants about a year ago about Mayuri, especially after Marina came out. I don't have her on Global. I didn't even bother trying to get her again. Took me 3 years to max her out before. I mean, I don't have her on JP. Sorry. No, I'm not gonna. I put her at A. Only because when you do get Mayuri to C6, she is strong. She has that charged arrow. But when you have her at C6, she can do the charge arrow automatically without even charging, just as a regular attack, and that's very strong. It's just the fact that I always feel like Marina is better before you even get her to C6, but I'll get to her later. So and I don't really have an opinion on Maria, so I'm gonna put Mayuri at. I'll leave her right there. Just because at her max, she is pretty good. Just takes a while to get there. Took me 3 years to get there. Shikana Toka, I ought to put you at freaking D. But I'm going to be generous and put you at C for now. Shikana Toka, I have pretty much given up on her. I've been trying for years, because that's my favorite form of Toka. But they just ruined her on this game. It took away a lot of her combos when they just gave her the regular buttons. I talked about that on my old videos on Globals. I'm not going to go into that. But even on JP, they still have issues with her. You can outright miss her awakening. I thought it was just me for years doing it wrong, but I've seen a lot of people, they just also miss her awakening so easily. So you can't have a character that's broken in a bad way. So yeah, Shikana Toka is down to C. If you want to run Toka, Tenka is the way to go at this point. A year ago I may have said differently, but just disappointed. Now we're going to the big 3. I'm gonna just go ahead and put all of them up here. I'll put in that order. S rank Queen, Shirion, Yoshino, and Inverse Origami. They're still at the top. It's not even. It's really not even close. Queen, you guys know how I feel about Queen. She's just always been broken since she first came out. It's ridiculous. She's not as broken as she once was because she's light, but she's still pretty powerful. Shirion Yoshino, she also hits very hard and has a lot of defense if you build her correctly. So she still is. Inverse Origami, I'm working on her now, so I don't have to use Kurumi anymore. I have to get some more crystals for the mock summon. But Inverse Origami, again, her being dark hurt her. She used to be very broken. She came out after Queen on Global, way back on what? Queen came out at the end of 2020, so Inverse Origami came out at the beginning of 2021. She came out automatically being second, and she was second for a while, only because Queen came out before her. So, in fact, she was second until Yoshino came out. But still, she, as long as you upgrade her pierce damage and pierce rate and all that, she's still gonna be pretty good. That's why I'm really trying to Get as many copies of her as I can from the Mach Summon. Who else? Sang. I'm going to put Sang up here. Until I get copies of Tinker, I'm going to have Sang above her for now. I may switch this, but I may put her... I don't know. Because Sang, she has a low attack stat in general. But she, if you play her correctly and you keep going back and forth between her skills and her extra ability to keep her, I can't think of it. It's like some kind of rage. I forgot what it's called. Her energy system. Keeping that bar at red, she is going to hit like a freaking truck. The only problem is she can still get hit like a truck. So, it is just very... You have to play carefully with Sang, but if you do, she can out-damage almost anybody. Yeah, Sang is pretty good. I just didn't know how to play her for a while. I was playing her wrong. I could never get copies of her on Global. But now they have her on JP. She is very, very good. Artemisia, the newest one on this list. She's better than Shekinah Toka. I will say that right now. I will probably put her at B. Wind is pretty much lacking in this game. I think that's the worst element is wind. Or hurricane, whatever. Because Shekinah Toka, she sucks. Kaguya, she can be good, but she's a 4-star. It's going to take a lot of work to make her good. But Artemisia, if we get another copy, I still need a couple more copies of her so I can get her healing ability. She has the, similar to Mayuri, that extra normal attack that can do a lot of damage. You just got to be careful and use it sparingly. Not use it sparingly, but be careful how you use it, just like was saying. Yeah, I put her... I think I'll put her up right below Origami. But above Ellen. Nia, A. I put her right here. She's support. And she can do a lot of damage. She's, other than Queen, she's the strongest light DPS. I mean, the only other option is Origami, so that's kind of pointless. But, yeah, just like with Natsumi, support and can do damage. So, she gets a extra boost in the ratings. She can heal, raise up everybody else's attack. I wanted to get her with the Mach Summon again, but I couldn't put in there for Sephiroth. And her main, what is it? Her main support comes from having her Sephiroth. If you have her Sephiroth, she's good. Without it, I think she can still do some damage herself, but she's not going to support as well. So, just keep that in mind. Mukuro. I didn't play her much on Global because I have Coterie. I really have no reason to run Mukuro when I have Coterie. But when you get her to C6, I'm sure she is going to be stronger than Coterie easily. She's not going to heal as good. Nobody will, other than Origami. But I will put her at a pretty high A for now. And don't get me wrong, these characters in the A are still strong. It just the ones in the S are freaking broken beyond belief. Maria, I still don't have a strong opinion on her yet. I've always preferred Marina. Speaking of which, I'm putting her at S now. I think I had her at a high A before. She's at S. Marina is so freaking powerful. It is almost like she was the one who did the most damage against Bell for me today. It's on the online mode, not against the Endless Corridor. I haven't bothered doing that. I'm saving that for a stream later. Yeah, with her traps and being able to just... The enemy can just get distracted by her clones while you're doing damage to her for free without getting touched. It's just way too powerful. Not to mention that data reflux. Yeah, if you do more damage. She is very strong. I may end up putting her above Inverse Origami. I'm not sure. I need to get more copies of Origami before I say. But I could very well say this until then. Because I have been very impressed by Marina. And let me see if I'm going to do some rearranging. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention what Coterie is. She has that burn ability. Where I think if you do any of her attacks, or at least her normal attacks, you can set constant DPS on the enemy, and they will burn even if they have super armor. Like if you're fighting, not super armor, but you guys know when you're fighting Bale, sometimes you have like an extra white bar of health, and you can't do any damage until you get that, like a shield, until you get that shield off of her. I think Osmodias and a couple others do the same thing. Coterie can still do damage if you set them on fire, even while they have that buff, that shield buff. Coterie can still do damage with her burn DPS. So that helps a lot. I think she's always had that. I just never noticed it until now. And it's very helpful. Especially since I've been starting the game over. That has helped me a lot. So yeah, this aid column is pretty stacked. I think yeah, Shekinah Toka, the lowest 5-star, rightfully so. Maria, I can't rightfully put her anywhere without feeling bad either way. If I put her too low or too high, because I just don't ever play her. But I think both her and Marina, if you have to run them both to really need them at C6. So you could stop at C5 with Marina and she's going to be just fine. But if you do get the last copy, you need Maria to activate the full thing. She gets an extra 10% pierce rate, but I think she gains an extra 10 or 20% whatever with Maria on the team, and vice versa, I believe. But it's just like 10%. It's not really that big of a deal, and it's pierce rate, not like that, like a damage boost. But yeah, I think this is gonna be my tier list for now. Keep in mind, all these spirits can be useful one way or another if you upgrade them correctly. That's why I've been doing these videos for the last couple years, just so you guys can have an idea. I need to redo some of these videos, like for Natsumi, by the way. But yeah, I think this is what I'm gonna keep it at. When Rene comes out, she'll probably be right back up at S. When Rio comes out, I still won't know what to do with her. So, and don't know if Crimson Kurumi or Ice Princess Yoshino are ever coming back, or ever coming to JP at least. I thought they would be for the anniversary, but apparently not. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys would make this, if you guys have a different opinion on it, share it down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.